Hey everyone, so we're back, another tutorial, again in Pixlr, and I'd like to show you how to make this example right here on the screen. And it is an orange background for a web banner, and with some nice rays, a few little design elements, some circles, and we can keep things simple but make it look good, right? So how do we do that? I can show you in a few easy steps. So I'm going to make a banner, just orange. I'm going to make it 1,536 pixels wide. The reason I'm going that width is because that's the width I want to use for a banner on Chromebooks, and that's the highest resolution we can get on the school devices that we have. So that's what's going to set my width. Now the height you can play with. The width is fixed. The height, well, you can do 300, 400, 350, 450. You can play with those heights, get the desired look that you want. So let's dive into this project. I'm in Pixlr. I'm going to make a new document. So I'm going to go File, New Image. Always name your files. So I'm going to call this Banner Rays, just because that's what I'm showing you. Banner rays. For the size, I'm going to put 1,536 pixels. And I'm going to do 400. Click OK. So I've got a blank canvas. I'm going to take this example, move it down, because I'm going to use it for reference. I'm going to recreate this. And banner rays. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, fill it with orange. I'm going to go to my set main color, and I can play around. I can find the orange that I'd like, or if I want to be lazy, I can click and, not click, but just move outside of the color picker and select the exact orange that I used earlier. So I'll do that. And it even gives you options to select different colors, like within the same shade. So that's pretty handy, and I'll probably use that later. So click OK. Once you've selected your color, use your paint bucket tool and click in the white canvas. It's going to fill it with orange. Great. So I've got that. I'm going to make a new layer. Okay, I'm going to call this circle. And I just double clicked on that layer to rename it. So circle. And I'm gonna use my marquee tool, and I'll zoom into this. So notice that as soon as I use the marquee tool, it pops up an elliptical marquee. And so this elliptical marquee, once I click on it, allows me to make circles. I'm gonna zoom out. And I'm gonna click and drag to make a circle. Watch you don't make an oval. Okay. As close as possible. That's pretty good. And now in that layer, I'm going to select white. So I'm going to use white instead. I'm going to just drag this bar all the way up to white. Click OK. I apologize for the interruptions from the intercom. I'm just in my classroom. So here's the paint bucket. Click to fill it with white. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're left with these marching ants, right? They stay there. What do? Well, hit Control D to get rid of those. That's to deselect. You can also do Edit, Deselect All. That'll work as well. And every tool you get in Pixlr, it'll tell you the keyboard shortcut in the menu here. I'm going to go use my Move tool, and I'm going to mimic what you see on the bottom rays. Okay, so I'm building the rays underneath those white circles first. Then I'll go and make all my white my white circles. Okay. I'm going to make this bigger by going Edit, Free Transform. It's important that you hold Shift to scale. Okay, it keeps it proportionate. I'm going to make the circle quite large. And I go about this height. Even if it's a little different than my original one, that's okay. I'm gonna bring it down and click, hit enter. So that circle's ready. Now I'm gonna add a layer style to this, okay? So I'm gonna zoom in to show you what that looks like. So there's my layer style right here. Click on it, okay? Once you click on it, you're gonna get a window that looks like this, layer styles. Check off the outer glow. You'll see a very faint little stroke appear, okay? Adjust the size, okay? You'll see it's gonna grow. So I wanna have quite a big glow here. So I might even just max it out to 100, okay? That'll work. But I wanna change the color. I don't want blue. I want like a dark orange. So click there. I can select the dark orange, but again, I'm gonna go and cheat and select the same orange that I used earlier to save me some time. I've got this darker orange here. In fact, I'm gonna go even a shade darker by clicking on the suggested color swatches. Click OK. I've got this nice orangey yellow happening around the circle. I like it. I can even adjust like how thick it is, so the hardness of the blur. So I'll add extra so it really is prominent. Click OK. So now that I've changed my layer style, I've added a glow to the outside edge. I'm ready to lower the opacity of this circle. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make it transparent, and then I'm going to duplicate 2 other versions of it. And once we're done with that, we're ready to add to the white circles above it. So there's just a few steps left to go. And the white circle here, I've got it as a separate layer. If ever you want to go back and edit the layer style, you can just double click on the layer style little star here that you can see. If I double click it, I can go to my layer styles. So I'll zoom out of this again, and I can adjust it by clicking on outer glow. I can adjust the hardness again if I want to make it a little bit less, a little bit more. Click OK. So here, you have to use your toggle layer settings to get this, okay? Your layer panel by default will be about here. I drag mine out and I click on toggle layer settings to get the opacity. So I'm going to turn the opacity down to about so. Okay. In fact, I might even play with some layer modes here. I'm going to go to add, alpha, no, that doesn't look good. Darken, that's okay. Difference, normal. In fact, I'm going to check what I used for this file. And this is it here. So I've got it on darken, opacity at 100. So I'm going to do that. Click over here, set to darken, opacity at 100. Okay. I'm going to duplicate it now. So right click, duplicate the layer, hold shift and the left arrow key to shift it over. Okay, so we're already getting that same effect, but now that one, I'm going to just lower the opacity a little bit more. So soften it. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate it once again, hold shift, bring it over, just using my arrow keys. And I'm going to soften it even more. So right now what's happening is we've got those 3 rays, and we're going to fill up the right hand side with a bunch of white solid fill circles. So you're only going to see the rays being covered up. I'll make a new layer from this point, and we're going to call that white circles. And I'm going to use my brush tool. Brush. Go into your brush settings. Select a fairly big brush here, 200, just the default circle. And with the white selected for your colors, okay, you can make circles of any color if you want. White, you don't have to stick with white, but white works for us. Click OK. I'm going to start clicking a few circles, and I'm going to start filling in this part of my image. And that's enough for now. And then I'm just going to go back in and vary the size of the circles by making little circles in between sizes until I get the desired effect I want. I'm just going to add a bunch of circles, and I'm just clicking in my white circles layer, and I'm adding to this effect. So this is where use your judgment, what's too much, what's not enough, and explore with it. Have fun. Just see what you can make. Can connect some of the circles, have some overlapping. I'm going to have more kind of free floating. Vary my sizes. They almost look like bubbles, right? And so I could work at this for a while yet. But essentially that's what I created earlier. So it's a little different. The circles are different. You can make yours a little more custom if you'd like. But I've got the same rays happening with the right hand side covered up with white. And from here, I would save it. I could add more pictures. I could add some text. I can design and develop a whole banner out of this. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to the next tutorial together. Take care.